Short sad story for you guys. If you were wondering why the heck I'm holding the camera with my hands, no, I'm not a vlogger, but in the previous video somebody thought would be just a great idea to steal my tripod, and that means I don't have a tripod anymore because it's just gone. It's gone away from my life. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna shoot with my hands, which is not that bad, but I have never realized how heavy this camera was until now. What's up everybody, Bulma here, welcome back to yet a new episode. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I just can't do it. I'm not even getting close. Okay, so Peter man, if you're watching this, I hope we meet one day because bro, your job is just mind-blowing. Okay, now let's get serious. Nah. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Paul, I'm a photographer and video maker living in Italy, and today I'm gonna show you how to do product photography with nothing else but what you got in your house. I'm gonna go to the whole process including the editing steps, so stick around if you want to get a free bonus and see the end result. First thing first, we need a product, but because I've been so undecided on what to choose, I had to ask someone else to do it for me. Huge thanks to my precious girlfriend who has finally decided to accept showing up on my video, guys. This is Theodora, she's my girlfriend, and she's gonna help me out today with choosing what object I'm gonna shoot.
Hi!
Now, just to make it a little more interesting, she will be free to pick up whatever object from the table, and hopefully she won't choose something like the table itself. So babe, please have mercy. This is very cool. I think I got it from IKEA, so thank you IKEA for your design. Okay guys, I'm actually really nervous about this because it might turn...
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
very difficult depending on what she's gonna choose, but also interesting. So I really hope she's gonna pick up something easy to shoot. That's a very old speaker as well. I don't know why I still have this because I'm not using it since, I don't know, 2017.
This is just too little. You think so?
Oh, the old gift I got from... Everything's old here, I don't know why, but this is an old gift I received from her. Thank you, babe. And it's actually a USB, as you can see. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a USB actually, which is very nice because it's kind of a camera with its own lens, but it's a USB. So thank you, babe, for your gift. It turned useful. I am still waiting. I used to use this on my Nikon, but it's kind of broken. That's my previous camera, the camera I started with. This is my Nikon 31000.
Watch out.
That's another old camera. As I was saying, everything's old over here, but this looks like very plasticky and cheap, and I actually don't even remember when I got this or if it was a gift or something like that, but it's pretty old.
And this is what you're gonna shoot for the video.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You choose this one.
Yeah.
So the cool part is that we got a product which is right here, and what I'm gonna do now is to get my lazy ass up and go check around for different objects I might want to bring inside a composition. Without any further ado, let's get into it. What I want to do is to recreate a mood around the product made out of objects, materials, and textures. And I want to recreate a story behind it because, you know guys, no story, no glory. Wait, what the heck did I just say? No story, no glory? Just, never mind, okay? Just forget it. So this little box right here is the first thing I stepped into. Let me show you what's inside so you can understand why this is just perfect for what I need. Let me see if I can open this guy by just shaking it, and ta-da! There is a wooden pan inside, and guys, it looks sick. Now this would fit perfectly into the mood. Let's go for the next one. So while I was chilling around the house, I found this little thing right here, which I have no clue what it is, but because it's made out of metal and has this bronze color, would just fit perfectly into the setup. I wanted to open this drawer right here, which is always hard to open, because I remembered I had this deck of cards in, which also looks sick. Let me show you these cards that are so nice, with some textures on it and an old looking aspect. Guys, let me tell you something. I'm entering the dead zone right now because I just removed from the wall this painting, which is part of other paintings, which are not paintings but printed images, because I'm gonna use this as surface for our subject, and hopefully nobody's gonna kill me for that. So this is the box with the pan. I also found a couple of pictures, this little thing right here, a couple of rings, the deck of cards, and a bag of coffee. Do you know what's the last thing you want to deal with when it comes to product photography? Well, that's bad lighting. Bad lighting is just the worst thing that could ever happen to your shot. So here's a quick tip on how to do it at home easily without having to spend a ton of money in fancy lighting equipment. So the first thing you gotta do is to go check around for every single window you got in your house. And if the light coming in is not good enough, start thinking on how to make it look better, right? Depending on the weather conditions or the hour of the day, the light coming through the window might be very harsh. So what you want to do is to place on top of the window a white material like a white bathsheet, which will act like a diffuser, and that will soften down the light that hits the subject. I am so damn grateful for the evolution of the technology at this point, and for not having to use this kind of cameras anymore. However, if you came up with the idea at a very late hour of the day and there's no more good light coming through the window because it's just too dark, I highly recommend you to wait until the next day and take those shots in better lighting conditions. If you do have a softbox instead, as I do, I suggest you to use it because under my opinion it is going to give you better results over natural light, especially when it comes to product photography. I wish I could stop talking and do it right away. So what I'm gonna do now is to take all this off, put it all together and see how it looks. So as I was saying, this is going to be the surface of the setup. I also have a huge softbox here which is going to illuminate the scene, and the next step is just laying down everything and see how it turns. There is coffee everywhere in this room, in every single corner and under every single thing you can imagine. But what I'm gonna do now, instead of cleaning this shit up, is to dump all the shots I've done into Lightroom and see what I got. The next step would be running through them all, rate some with the 5 button on my keyboard, which by the way looks sexy, and show you my editing process. I was checking this a few minutes ago and it looks like it's still working, so that means my girlfriend is safe for now. However, I was thinking that by the end of the video, guys, you'll be having an overall idea about my personal workflow, the way I do product photography. And I was also planning to link in the description a free preset for you to download, which I really hope is going to be helpful for some of you. And that's the bonus I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Now, no more talking, let's jump into Lightroom and see how those shots look. So guys, the first thing I used to do right away is to rate every single picture with the 5 button of my keyboard, because I only want to work with those shots I think are the best. And as you can see, I already did it. So the next simple step would be just activating those filters, and here are only the shots I've been rating earlier. Before changing any of these values right here, what I want to do is to carefully give a cut to every single shot, and I'm going to choose this ratio because it matches with the ratio Instagram has. So guys, this is the raw version of the shot that just came out of the camera, which I do like a lot, but I'm still not happy with it. So what I'm gonna do now is to play with the curves and to raise those blacks a little bit, because I want to give to this shot an old looking style. I also want to create an S shape in the curves to give some more contrast to the overall image. I also want to adjust the colors a little bit in the shot. So what I'm gonna do is to activate this selector right here and just click on the zone I'm interested, and just by sliding up and down I'll be changing the values. So for instance, I want this orange to be a little more towards the reds, and I also want it to be a little more colorful, so I'm gonna increase the saturation of that. I also want to give it some more light. So guys, this is very optional, but here's what I do. I go back to the basic values because I love to boost those textures, and that's because I love to imagine when looking at the shot to kind of feel those textures with my fingers. So what I do right away at the beginning before taking the shot is to set my aperture at around 5 or 7, because I want to capture more textures. And then when I go back to Lightroom, I do also boost them, and by doing so I get a sharp and crispy image, and that's what I mostly always look for. I also want to carefully increase the clarity until I reach the sweet point, which stands at around 13. Yeah, that looks good enough. And these modifications will make the shot pop out even more. I'll be going to the color grading section right now because, guys, the colors are always directly responsible for the vibe of a shot. And because this shot looks too cold for me, what I want is to add a red tone to the shadows by moving this slider at around this point. I think 5 is enough. Yeah, now that looks good for me. The next thing I want is to add some more light into the midtones at around 40, 50, 53, it's okay. And the next thing, very important, is to add a yellowish tone to the highlights because I want some more warmth into the shot at around that point. Here's the difference between and after. As you can tell, there is a huge difference, and the truth is that it totally changed the way I feel about this shot, the way I feel by looking at it. The very last step, guys, at this point is going to be all about the details. So for example, I'd really like this little mysterious thing to pop out a little more. So what I'm gonna do is to slightly increase the textures and the clarity. I also want to add a spot of light right on top of the subject So I will slightly and carefully increase the exposure. I want to add a second spot of light right in front of the camera, and this is going to highlight this specific area, which is a key point of the shot, and I'll be doing just the same, slightly increase the exposure. Now, this step I'm doing right now is actually very optional, but I really think it gives to the shot the right mood. So what I'll be doing is to increase the blacks at maximum point in that specific area, and that is going to simulate visible light coming into the shot from that side. At this point, guys, we are done with everything. So I really hope that you have enjoyed watching the video. I hope that you have learned something new today, which is the most important part. And if you're interested in photography and not subscribed yet to the channel, consider doing it, because I'll be uploading new content and it would also be a huge support for me. So kill that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and see you to the next one. Stay cool.